Hello, and welcome back to Chubby Pug Yarn Podcast. My name is Emma, and today I have a co-host. This is Frank, our little bully, so he's keeping me company. As you can see, I'm trying yet another room to see if I can get some better lighting. Uh, there's quite, it's not quite so much lighting in the other rooms, and this is the room with the smallest room with most windows, so hopefully I can get some more natural lighting so it gets a bit better. This is our guest room and library, if you can say it. We have all our books in here, and I keep all my yarn in here. And when we have guests over, we have like a comfy bed and stuff, so it's quite nice. Today it's the last day of November. I should have recorded last week, but I have had like really much to do. Like it had been an emotional roller coaster these couple of weeks since I recorded last time. I will talk about that last thing if anyone's interested. But first, I think it's better to talk about yarn. Uh, You can find me on Ravelry as Chubby Pug Yarn, and I also have a Ravelry group called Chubby Pug Yarn Podcast, uh, where you can join and talk with me and talk with other group members. I hope it will be a nice group. Uh, and if you have like anything you want to add to it, just make a new thread about whatever you want to know, or yeah. Uh, Also, you can find me on Instagram as Distortion. I think that's about it. Yeah. Even though I haven't been recording and have had really much thing to do, I actually have had some knitting done at least. I have, let's see, I have two finished objects. Yes, I have. First out, my stitch surfers. Finally done. So I have mirrored the second one. I really liked the pattern. Uh, I needed to do some adjustments for my wide feet, but with the adjustments they turned out really good and they fit well on my foot. So I will probably have this pattern in mind when when I get some other nice sock yarn in the future or something. So one more sock to keep in my drawer. But the most likely thing is that my boyfriend will steal them and wear them on his feet instead, because we have approximately the same size. So when I knit socks for myself, they always get to his feet by accident or something. And the last time we recorded, I talked about a knitting desire. I wanted to knit a really huge shawl to have like for winter usage. Alphonse? It's the other dog coming. Hi! You want to say hello? Alphonse? No, he just wanted to check out the room. He's usually not allowed to be in here, so now he's really excited. But yeah, the shawl. I had a yarn at home, so last weekend when I was feeling sad, I knitted and I knitted and I knitted, and it's a really huge shawl. Let's see if I can fold it in half or something. Oh, door's ringing. And I'm back again. It was the neighbor's kids who wanted to play with the dogs. They just call on the door sometimes. Yeah, the huge shawl. I think I was the huge shawl. Yeah. It's like, I think it's about 2 meters or something. And it's really soft. Let's see. This is half of it. It's my double my wingspan or something. I knitted this in the Abuelita Merino worsted. It's a 1-ply yarn, and I knitted it together with one thread of Pickle's silk mohair. I don't know if you can see it, but it's 2 different strands, and I have used this like the whole week outside. It's warm, and for me I usually have a problem in the winter because when I dress up with big jackets and hats and mittens and stuff, I easily get too warm when I'm out walking the dogs or something. And I found that this one is when it's like so airy, it's much easier to like adjust how warm I am around my neck. So I'm really pleased with it. And this is like, yeah, warm fluff to have in the winter. But it's too warm to have it inside. So I have like a smaller shawl. This is from a Swedish designer called Visa-Lisa, and the shawl is named Upsa, and I have knitted it in I think it is Madeira or something. It's like with leaves and stuff. It's the shawl I use the most, at least inside. Yeah. Also, I have like tiny finished objects, because since it's only 4 weeks till Christmas, we have a tradition to celebrate Advent, which we do every Sunday, the 4 Sundays before Christmas. So I've started on knitting some Christmas ornaments. So I have made one with Christmas trees. They are not filled yet, as you can see. So I have a couple of these that I knitted last year that I'm going to have in my Christmas tree. But I figured I needed some more. So I have one with Christmas trees, and I have one with bells on it. So I will probably show you most of them when I have like filled them and stuff. I will probably knit a couple of ornaments more until Christmas, but we'll see. Then I have been knitting that I have half finished objects. I have finished the first pomatomus with nice fish scales. I don't know what you say. Nice pattern. So, and this is knitted in moods of colors Geiranger. I actually don't have any sock blockers, so but I will show them as good as I can. So now I need to knit another one of these. But before I knitted the same, I'm one of these persons who get the single sock syndrome. I only knit one sock and then I get bored and so on. And this summer I knitted a water for elephants. It's another sock. Looks like this. And it's actually my size, so I'm quite happy about it. And I knitted it in July, and then I started knitting on the pomatomus and the tiger stitch surfers and stuff. So now when I finished the first pomatomus sock, I figured I should bring the other water for elephant sock as a work knitting. Usually I knit like 15 minutes every lunch at work, because we have like half an hour, and I knit between 10 and 15 minutes of every lunch. So this is how far I have gotten on the second sock. Actually, I just knitted like the leg part at work, and then I have knitted the heel and gussets at home, because I think I need more attention to it. But now it's only the foot and toe left, so now I can bring it back to work and have it as a work knitting. So it will be done before Christmas at least. So it's quite nice. I have been wanting to join the Cookie A sock club, as I have been knitting some of Cookie A's patterns and really like them. But I decided, since I have ordered quite a lot of sock yarn this year or this autumn, I think I will have as a plan to knit all the socks I want to knit for the next year. So 2015, I will knit all the socks that I have like put in my library that I really want to knit, and I have bought yarn, but I haven't been knitting in them. So if I can knit them, I can join Cookie A sock club for next year probably. But I can't just buy more yarn when my stash is like full already, or way beyond full. So I will knit with all the beautiful yarn that I have at home, because I have a lot of knitting hours in my stash that I could have good use of. But I described this to my boyfriend like last week or something, that when I find a new indie dyer, I just need to try at least one of their yarns. So I said, it's like Pokemon, you gotta have them all. So that's my biggest problem. There are too many nice dyers out there, but I will take them one at a time. Actually, I have on my spinning, I have had some progression as well. When my parents came here 2 weeks ago, they brought my grandma's spinning wheel, since she doesn't use it, and I really want to use one. So I took one of my fibers and started spinning, and I'm halfway finished with the one Merino silk blend. Let's see, in blues and purples and whites and some red and greens also. It's quite thick and thin, but I think it will be nice in the end. So this is half of it, and then I have almost half a bobbin full already. So maybe till next week I will have a nice yarn to show you. We'll see. As to work in progress, I'm actually only knitting one thing. We usually call it monogamy knitting, so I'm monogamy knitting at the moment on Rock the Lobster. So I think when I showed you the last time, I was just at the end of the pattern, and I have knitted quite far on the grey. I have tried it on Monica, who is the recipient, and she really likes it so far, and I think it's turning out really well. It's perfect to have like sofa knitting, because I enjoy watching podcasts and series, different series on TV and stuff. So when it's only stockinette stitch in one color, I can just knit while I watch everything, and I really enjoy it. So I easily get bored when it's just stockinette stitch, but as I have the little bit more intricate sock pattern to lunch knitting, I can easily knit for an hour or two in the evenings with just a grey stockinette stitch, at least so far. But yeah, we will see if I accidentally start some other knitting. But my primary goal is to knit this sweater as fast as I can, so she can use it and bring it, so I can bring it to her before Christmas. That would be nice. When it's about then, I thought about having the knitting desire section once again. Maybe I can have it like a fast section every time I record. But this time I have 3 knitting desires, so I have lots of knitting I want to do. The first is actually a blanket called A Bit of Iceland from Stephen West. It's like circular blanket. Sorry, just lost words. And I'm also keeping an eye on the dogs. Yeah, a circular blanket with the quite beautiful patterning, like that are reminding me of Iceland quite a lot. I went to Iceland last autumn with work, and I really enjoyed it. I actually bought a lot of Icelandic yarn, and I will show you later the sweater that I have already knitted, which I use quite a lot. But yeah, the circular blanket. If I'm able to insert a picture, I will do it here. But otherwise, I will just link it in the show notes. The second thing is a hat called Norby by Gudrun Johnston. It's a little bit slouchy hat with like tangles in the end. I have a couple of yarns that I could use, so when I'm done with Rocket Lobster, I probably will do some tests with different yarn to see if any of the yarn I have at home will fit the pattern, because I really need hats or beanies or whatever you call it. I knitted 2 hats last year, but I have the problem because I have quite a huge head. They often slide up when I'm using them, and then my ears get cold, which is the problem because the only reason why I use a hat is to cover my ears. I sometimes have like this headband that I knitted to keep only my ears warm, but and I'm back again. My computer just crashed with a blue screen and everything, so I have to restart the whole thing. But luckily, it auto-saved my latest capture, so I'm just continuing where I was. So I was talking about Norby, the hat, and I really need a hat that is big enough for my head. I think was the last thing I needed to say. Because almost all the hats I knit like get rise up on my head, and then my ears get cold. So a big hat is what I need, and usually I prefer slouchy hats. Yeah. Now I have another co-host who is sleeping and snoring, and the other one is sleeping on the carpet. So I hope they are not snoring too much, but we'll see. So the last knitting desire is actually a shawl, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but as always I will link everything I talk about in the show notes. I think it's called Fabergé or something like that. It's a shawl with a body in one color, and then you have like a section where, and then the outer border and a section in between where they are like going from the body color to the outer lining colors, and then you have beads in it. I have never knitted with beads, so I really liked the thought of that, so I will keep it in my knitting queue, and hopefully I will get time to knit it. Maybe for next year, who knows? One section that will be quite big this time is in my mailbox. I've had quite good weeks for knitting related packages, but it's with all the other things that have been happening the last couple of weeks, I haven't been feeling so well, and then I got like, oh, I think I need to sneeze. I got like this notification from the postal office that, oh, you have a package to get, and since I don't have so much snow here, actually, just like on like in the yard, but not on the roads and stuff, I said, oh, I can take my bicycle. I have quite a luxury bicycle with 3 wheels, so it's actually not 2 wheels, it's 3. And I have like a motor with a battery, so I get help while cycling. It gets a lot easier since all the way to the postal office is only uphill, quite a long uphill. It's 2.5 kilometers or something. So when I was about to take the bicycle, I realized the battery was out, and I couldn't find the keys to get the battery from the bicycle to get it inside to recharge it. So I was looking for the key for 2.5 hours because I really didn't want to walk all the way there, and I have trouble to manage the bicycle without the engine. So I was looking for 2.5 hours, couldn't find it. It got really sad. And my boyfriend, with very much patience, just give me a hug and say, oh, it will be alright, we will find it, and otherwise we will get a new one. It can be so hard to find a new key. And the day after we were away, so I didn't have any time to look for it. And then day 3, I was looking, and then my boyfriend said, oh, but have you looked in the other room? And I said, yeah, I've been looking. And he said, oh, but I will check it too. And he found the key. Yay! I was doing a little happy dance and run out to get the battery from the cycle and put it in the charger. And the next morning, which was yesterday, Saturday, I got bicycle out, and I actually found another notification from the postal office in my mailbox. So I took both of them to the postal office to get 2 packages, and then I have also received packages in my mailbox that I didn't have to fetch. But I wonder which I should start with. I think I should start with the Fiber Club. As I told you last time, I joined Loop Fiber Studios Fiber Club for 3 months, where you get 1 fiber bump of I think it's I'm not sure how much it is, but yeah. So if you haven't received yours and you're in in the fiber club, you should look away for a while, because now I will show the fiber bump for this month. This is the November one. It's called Harvest. So it's quite a lot of natural tones and a little bit of like copper sparkle or something. And it's yellows and orange and browns and mustardy colors and stuff. So it's not at all colors for me. But Mom, if you're watching this and you want some hand-spun yarn, or if you want me to knit something, you can just tell me, because I really think this could be like some nice wrist warmers or something for you, maybe. So I'm real happy about it, and I can't wait to get the third club bump. We'll see. Oh, just need to. Alphonse is sleeping on my shawl. He loves to sleep on my knitting. Yeah, and also I got a package from Gourmet Stash. I was so excited. I have pre-ordered the Smaug colorway, and now I got mine. So it's a lot of sparkle. It's turquoise, some blues and oranges. I really, really like it. It's so pretty and so soft. I'm one of those who smells my fibers. I really like it. Yeah, so Smaug is the colorway. And the other color, or fiber, I should say, I got from Gourmet Stash is this beautiful braid. It's called Floki's Darker Gods, so it's a Vikings reference, and it's ice dyed. I'm not totally sure how you do that, but I think the braid turned out beautiful. So it's dark grays and light grays and some sparkle. So it's Merino and Superwash Merino and Stelina in that one. And in Smaug it's also Superwash Merino and Stelina. And also I got a little present, or some extra goodies. The Cloak of Invisibility, which is Merino, Yak, let's see, Silk and Angelina. So I got some small, see, there, in light grays and whites. So they're really, really soft. And I can't wait to try them out. I will definitely order from her again. So thank you very much for the small goodies, and I'm looking forward to spin all the yarn I can get. Spin all the fibers and get some nice yarn was the thing I was supposed to say. But anyways, I also have gotten some Jinx yarns. So this is totally my color instead. In purples. It's on her glitz socks base. So let's see. It's 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5 stellina. And it's light and dark purples. And the colorway is called Goth Girl. So it matches me perfectly. I am not totally sure what to knit with it. I'm thinking about making monkey socks, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. And then it's not over yet. I got 2 skeins of yarn from Countess Ablaze. It's on her Viscount of Spark. So this is the colorway Nerds Prefer the Rainbows Darker. So it's all muted or with black colors over it. I really like it. So it's 75% merino, 20 nylon, and 5 stellina. I have had like a really glitter week in my mailbox. The other one is also with glitter and the same base, and it's called Ice Queen. So it's speckles with blues and purples on the white. So I'm really looking forward to knit with it. I haven't really decided if I'm going to knit like some kind of shawl with it or if I knit socks. Maybe I should knit the Fabergé shawl with this and a black border or something. Maybe. We'll see. Or I just knit some nice socks. I think the last mail I got, it's actually been a while since I got it. There's an indie dyer in Sweden. That was my phone. An indie dyer in Sweden that is called Tant Kofta. And she had like a competition on Instagram where you were supposed to take a picture and hashtag it with finaste färgen, which is the prettiest color. And then the winner would get one skein of yarn dyed in that colorway, and I won it. So I got this pretty yarn. It's a beautiful, beautiful purple, bluish, violet, I don't know what to call it. If I'm able to, I will insert a picture here of the picture I took. I took a picture of a flower late in the autumn. So I'm thinking about having another section in this podcast to have a little bit more to talk about. So I'm thinking about having the knitted garment of the week or something like that. So I will talk about knitted things, knitted garments that I have and that I have used. So even though I talked a little bit about the shawl and my finished objects, I really, really want to talk about my Icelandic sweater. As I told you, I had a travel to Iceland with work last autumn, and we got one day to like do some tourist stuff, and my colleagues really wanted to go the Golden Circle, which is like all the tourist attractions, well, the huge attractions in the small area around the capital city. And I said, ooh, but if we're going, we really need to stop at Alafoss, the wool factory, where they have all the yarn. And they say, okay, we can do that. And we went and were there before they opened. So we were there early and were the first in that day. I realized how cheap the yarn was. So I bought a huge bag of yarn. It was about 4 sweaters worth of yarn because I really, really wanted to knit sweaters. And then the nice lady in the shop said, oh, you will have, when you've knitted the first one, you will knit all of them in 6 months. I haven't, but as soon as I came home, I started knitting on the first sweater, which was for me. The pattern is called Ridari, and I'm not sure if it's like unisex or for males, but all the pictures in the original pattern was only guys. But This is mine. So it has this patterning on the yoke with purple, and then you have on the arms and at the end of the body. So this is knitted in Let Loopy, which is Alafoss yarn, the thinner version, and they also have Loopy, which is the thicker one. So let's see if I can show you. It's a little bit hairy, as you can see, but it gives a quite nice glow. It's not soft at all. It's quite scratchy, but as I only use this as an outdoor sweater, so I always have a sweater or something underneath, and it will be more softened with use, but half the point is when the wool from Iceland is very special, and therefore the wool is a little scratchy, but it's warm and nice. And actually, I don't feel as much as I get really warm when I'm out walking dogs and stuff when I'm using jackets. When I use this one, it breathes, yeah. So it's warming, so I'm not freezing, but I'm not sweating too much. So it's an ideal sweater for me. And I have yarn for some other sweaters also. So I will probably knit them during the year to come. So I think that's all the knitting and spinning stuff. And I can get a little bit more personal and talk about my chaotic weeks. First I had my parents coming over, which always makes me really, really glad. So we had a really nice weekend. We were out taking walks and celebrating my mother's birthday, and she really liked her present, and planning for my Christmas vacation and stuff. So I will be home to Sweden for a week, and I'm really looking forward to it. So a lot of happy for that. But then we have noticed that Frank, the puppy bulldog, he have been limping on his hind leg, his back leg. I don't know what you call hind leg. Yeah. For quite a while. So we took him to the vet, and they told us that his patella kneecap is loose on one side, so when he walks, it's luxating. I'm not sure about the English terms, but yeah. So she told us that there is a really good specialist who's really good with patella problems, and we booked an appointment. And they said that, if it is the patella, it's really good odds. He will probably need surgery for the kneecap, but it's no huge worries. And then when we got to the specialist the week after, he says, but yeah, his patella is loose a little bit, but what you're describing and how he's walking, it doesn't look like the patella is the only problem. So I would recommend that we take an X-ray of his elbows, his back, and on his hind legs. And we did it, and was really worried. And when we came back, it turned out that he probably had a loose bone in one of his elbows, which is quite common, he told us. And he also has not as deep, I'm not sure about the name in English, where the thigh bone gets in the pelvis. It's called acetabulum in Latin, but I'm not sure about the English word. But like the bowl for the thigh bone is not as deep as it needs to be. But that's probably not the problem either. But it also looks like he had deformed vertebrae. And we got really, really sad and thought, oh, so we have to put him to sleep, or what can we do? And the vet says, oh, it's not that bad as it sounds, but if the bone marrow, not bone marrow, if the marrow in the spine gets, and the nerves get damaged, he could get permanent problems with his back and his legs. But there's a possibility to with surgery release some of the tension on the nerves in the spine and open the vertebrae, so he could live with us and stay with us with some surgery. But to be completely sure if the nerves were damaged or not, and to see how much problem they were, we were recommended to take a CT scan. But they are quite expensive, so we needed to check with the insurance company if they covers some of it, and luckily it took a week, and we were very sad and worried about, spinal surgery sounds quite serious, and how we would do with Christmas and rehabilitation of Frank and all the expenses and stuff. But it was quite sad and worried all week, and then we got cleared from the insurance company that we covered half of the CT scan, so booked one. And this Thursday we went back to the specialist and took a CT scan, and we got both good and bad news. One of the bad news is that he has a little bit of loose bone in one of his elbows, so there's a possibility he needs surgery in the elbow. But since he's so young, he's only 9 months, and he's not limping on his front legs at all. He's probably not having any trouble with it. So the vet says, but I do not recommend surgery at the moment. We will watch how he grows and see how it turns out. And we have seen some improvements in his hind leg with like muscular building and stuff, since he ordered us to walk a lot. He needs to get up. Okay. So we have seen some improvements, and he says, but if he is able to grow and build some more muscles, he will probably have less problems. So that was a relief, at least no surgery there. The bad news is that he actually has 6 vertebrae that have some form of deformity. But the good news in that is that he has a lot of space for the nerves in the spine, So he has no damage in the nerves and will have no problem with the back because of the deformed vertebrae in his spine. So he can live a happy life even though they are strangely formed. Possibly there can be problems when he gets old, but he has like a good muscle definition and good big muscles around it, so he's keeping the spine very stable. So there's no need for surgery on his back. And we are so relieved for that. So we have been going from he's going to die to he was going to need severe surgery to it's okay. We don't need any surgery for now. And it's such a relief, and all the emotions have been coming behind. At the moment where we focused on severe surgery, we haven't been able to process everything. But now when we can relax and see, okay, he needs to grow, we need to exercise him a lot so he builds muscles to keep his hind legs good, and he possibly doesn't need any surgery at all. And if he needs, it's a minor surgery in the elbow. So yeah, that was quite a relief. But the last 3 weeks have been like a roller coaster, up and down, feeling glad, feeling sad, panic, and everything. But now we can start to relax. So that's really, really good. They are such sweethearts. They are like my kids, so I really get emotional when they are sick. So, but he has some pain medication we can give him, and we can exercise him. So hopefully it will turn out okay. I will update you if there will be some news on it. But as it looks now, we will go back when he turns 1 in February, and to have a new evaluation of his hips and his patella. He's snoring on my back. He's so cute. So yeah, it have been 3 chaotic weeks, but they ended happily. And now I will bring my box with Christmas decorations from the cupboards, because since it's the first Advent, I'm allowed to put out some Christmas lights. It's a kind of hardened the rules. No Christmas decorations before the first of Advent. So today I'm going to start with like Christmas lights stuff, and I will hopefully have some time to record next weekend. I think it's better to me to record in the weekends, since I have a little more chances to get daylight, since I'm working so much. Actually, I'm not working so much, but it's dark all the time. So keep writing to me, comment on Instagram, on Revelry, join the Revelry group. Send me a message if you wonder something or if you want to tell me something. And take care and enjoy this lovely season of thankfulness and love, and hopefully you will have a lot of knitting time. So take care. Bye.